Hello again. Welcome to section 2 of the Mastering Your Mind. So we've covered a few topics so far. We've covered obviously the introduction to meditation and the concept of awareness. By now, you should have been practicing some awareness techniques. There are some guided meditations in there that you could be practicing on and kind of journaling and then writing your own or coming up with your own guided meditations or processes just to become aware with your awareness. The second step in establishing a really good meditation practice is the art of concentration. Now, concentration is sort of described as the forgotten muscle. Sorry, my screen is shaking. It's on a bit of an unstable stand. Yeah, so concentration is sort of like the forgotten muscle. It's something that we all have heard, we're all familiar with, we all articulate to other people, concentrate. If you have kids or when you were a kid, you probably were told focus, concentrate, concentrate, but we were never really taught how to concentrate, how to use that muscle to help us focus. And for some people, it's easier than others. That ties into obviously elements and Ayurveda, and there's so many different avenues that you can use to look at where your level of concentration is and sort of bring rebalance to that. But meditation is the best way to do that. Concentration is basically a very deliberate process. It's not passive. You have to actively train your muscle, your mind muscle, to be able to concentrate on a specific area. Now, there's a few different concepts I want to kind of just piece separately, and then we'll piece them together. So, concentration is the art of focusing. It is the art of holding your focused awareness on a particular subject or object for a long period of time. Okay. Distraction. Distraction goes for without saying. We're pretty much aware of what distraction is. However, the world that we're living in right now today, there are so many distractions that we don't even realize that we are being distracted. We think that we are focusing. But with technology, social media, our phones are connected to everything and everyone. So when kids are at school or you're out and about and you get a text or you get a reminder, everything around us seems to be a distraction. So it's really important to recognize what are the distractions in your life, because if you're able to identify what are the major distractions in your life, you're going to be better equipped to build your concentration. Okay. Meditation is the practice of what we are attempting to achieve here. And that is by understanding that we have awareness, that which is constantly, and the art of concentration. And how they have to merge together is that you have to be able to build the muscle of your concentration to hold your awareness still for a period of time. That is what we are ultimately doing. So, step number one is awareness. Understand your awareness, connect with your awareness, know where your awareness goes and how to train that driver and concentration to be able to control that driver and where it goes. So there aren't much guided meditations for the concentration aspect because it is something that is easy enough for you to be able to do, and all you need is the timer on your phone. So I believe that there are a few, actually that's in the other section. Before that, the things that you can do to build your concentration as a daily practice is really, really simple, right? You can start by engaging yourself in the moment where you are. And that also comes with practice. So if you're talking to someone, you have to fully listen to them and their entire conversation without the mental distractions. And when you find yourself being distracted or your thoughts going away, gently pulling that back. Eating is another one. When you're eating, not being distracted, watching TV or, planning out your day or doing different things. Or you can backtrack it, something so small as walking, taking steps, like paying attention to every step that you take, what it feels like when your foot hits the ground. Um, Basically, it's taking every task that you're doing and focusing solely on that task for the moment that you are doing it, because whatever else is going to come is going to come. So, organization, there's power in organization. By learning to recognize your concentration, you're going to recognize how much distractions you have, and then how much distractions you have is going to push you to be more organized, to make sure that those distractions are not there and everything is taken care of so that you can work on your concentration and bring your awareness into the moment when you're doing your meditation. So this is an all-around practice. It's going to help you in your life and it's going to help you in your meditation practice. So it's recommended to start small. So 1 minute of full intention on your breath, or reading one page without any interruptions of a book, or watching it's watching a leaf dance in the wind. You don't have to do that, but you can very well go out into nature and just observe something fully in its entirety of what it's doing, whether it's the duck crossing the pond, or a bird flying in the sky, or a leaf that falls off a tree and is rolling in the wind. So every time you train your mind to stay focused on the thing that you are watching or doing or engaged in, that is like the muscle that you are training. So when you go to the gym, you don't get strong right away. You have to continuously go every day to build your muscle stronger and stronger and stronger until one day you're like, "Oh, hey, I can lift up the heaviest weight I didn't even know that I could." So concentration is really, really, really important. I encourage you to read through the literature that we have in the concentration section. There is integration practices for the week, so there's tons of examples of things that you can do. You don't have to do all of them. You can pick and choose certain aspects that you want to do. One really good one is a one-pointed awareness exercise, which is listed in the integration practice for the week. It's where you choose one specific thing for anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. And you set your timer. So it could be lighting a candle and watching that candle burn, watching the flame as it flickers and it dances for an entire 2 minutes, all the way up to 5 minutes if you wanted. You could focus on your breath, inhaling and exhaling, recognizing your breath, which is a really good one because the mind can't think and breathe at the same time. So that is why the breath is really powerful. You can use sound, and by sound, it's like a sound bowl, or you can use chimes or anything that creates a sound that you follow the vibration. You could stare at a flower, you could stare at a picture, anything that you are using as a tool to strengthen your focus. There are tons of guided meditations out there. In this specifically, you're not given a guided meditation just for the fact that this requires concentration. So that has to be built on your daily life. So when you're doing your daily activities, and throughout this entire journey, I don't know if I mentioned it before, it's really good for you to have a journal to reflect and to write and to free write. And it helps you kind of filter out those distractions that you have and anchor in on your focusing and your concentration. So, I wish you all the best with the concentration practice. Read everything through, practice the integrations, and then there's also deeper awareness practices that you can use. All of them are just examples. You pick and choose what you feel is best, but the most important thing is consistency. I don't care if you pick five of them and you're doing them consistently, or you pick one of them and you're doing only that consistency, because it's not about the amount of things that's in there, it's about consistency. So knowing yourself well enough, look, I can only focus on one thing a day. That's fine. You do one thing a day, but also give yourself dates. So I'm going to do focus on one thing a day. And that is when I wake up in the morning and I'm brushing my teeth, I am focused only on that. You do that for a week. The second week, add something else. The third week, add something else. So you have to give yourself deadlines for these things. If you need any help, obviously you can always reach out to me or anybody else that can help you keep you accountable for these things. So good luck with concentration, and I will see you in the next chapter.